I'd like to, this week's Torah portion, Shemot, wonder whether we have here a first instance of anti-Semitism. So, a lot of things happen in this week's Torah portion, but one of them is that Moses is born. He's born, and the daughter of Pharaoh, if you like, the Hitler of those days, finds this baby, and she says he's one of the Hebrews. And this begs the question, how does she know? Let's go with the assumption that she sees Moses as circumcised. Let's assume, skin color isn't that much different, or clothing, so she knows he's a Hebrew. Now, we also know that he grows up then in the house of Pharaoh, potentially to become a prince, but nobody knows that he's a Hebrew. We know that nobody knows that he's a Hebrew, because he's there, he's happy, and then one day he goes out, and something fascinating happens. He sees an Egyptian attacking a Hebrew, and he immediately goes and kills the Egyptian. And the text tells us that Moses knows the Hebrew is one of his own, implying that the daughter of Pharaoh has told Moses in secret, "You're a Hebrew." So we know that he grows up with a Hebrew identity, and he knows not to tell anyone about this. And he goes and then he does the right thing. He sees someone that's using their power for the wrong, and he kills the Egyptian. Okay. The next day he goes out and sees two of his other brethren, two Hebrews fighting, and he goes to the one that instigates the fight, and says, stop doing what you're doing. And the guy says to him, who are you to judge us? You just killed someone yesterday. And then the text tells us Moses gets scared and he says, "Achen noda hadavar." Indeed, it is known. It is known that you killed an Egyptian, and all of us, it is known. The thing is known. We don't know what the thing is, but the text tells us Moses understands that it is known, and then he goes, and then we're told that Pharaoh wants to kill him, and then he runs away. Now, what is known, and why exactly does Pharaoh want to kill him? There are two options here. And only two options, I think. The first option is Pharaoh knows that Moses killed an Egyptian, and that's wrong, and so he wants to kill him. But that doesn't really make sense, because, he's the prince. Surely you had higher people on the hierarchy that were killing lower Egyptians, and Pharaoh wouldn't be concerned. It wasn't that. It's that he discovered that Moses is a Hebrew. Now you ask yourself, and that is what it's when it says "Achena davar noda." Indeed, it was Moses understood that it is known now. The secret is out of the bag that he is a Jew, that he is a Hebrew. And here you would have thought that if Pharaoh suddenly realizes this, but he's raised him, surely he's more of an Egyptian. He's nurtured to be an Egyptian. So what if he killed another Egyptian? No, because much like the Spanish Inquisition and much like the Third Reich, it didn't matter if you became Christian or became German or were German. A Jew is a Jew is a Jew. And I think the reason that the Torah purposely is not telling us what it was exactly that Moses discovered, what exactly was known. Was it the supposed injustice of him killing an Egyptian, right, taking the law into his own hands? Or was it discovered that he's a Hebrew? I think purposely the Torah doesn't tell us this, and why it is that Pharaoh wanted to kill him. Because we see this in today's day and age. You see instances where we do things that, are ethical or okay, or, surely just like other nations, but no. It is seen as unjust, when in fact, one could argue, it is anti-Semitism. So I think this week's Torah portion and this instance, and this idea that it's discovered that Moses is a Hebrew, but the text doesn't want to tell us that explicitly. It's hiding a secret of the way the world will behave later, or many people throughout history, in supposedly saying that we are acting not okay, when in fact it is simply anti-Semitism. Thoughts on the Torah portion of Shemot? Shabbat Shalom.